I was driving for DoorDash on the weekend to make some extra money. I worked a day job, so I could only start driving later in the night. When I started, it was a little past 9. I got my first order and dropped it off, then drove back to where the restaurants were. I drove in circles for a while, maybe 10 minutes without getting a single order. It was late, but on the weekends there would usually still be a decent amount of orders. Finally one popped up and I accepted it, though it was a small order with a small tip. After that one, I waited in a parking lot for almost 20 minutes before the next order came through. Obviously, this wasn't ideal, having to wait so long between orders and not even getting to choose which orders to accept unless I wanted to wait even longer. This order was another small one, but some money was better than none, so I accepted it. I picked up their bag from Taco Bell and counted the items to make sure it was right. 2 tacos and some packets of hot sauce. That was it. The delivery fee was probably more expensive than the food. I confirmed that I picked up the order, then got the directions to the house. It was 10 minutes away in some regular neighborhood. A few minutes into the drive, I pulled up to a red light. There was almost nobody on the road at this time of night, so I was just sitting at this empty intersection, waiting for it to turn green, when a truck pulled up next to me. I unconsciously looked over slightly, but the man in the truck caught my attention enough to make me turn my head fully. He was sticking his head out of the window and looking down into my car. Not at me, but at my passenger seat, which had the DoorDash bag in it. I looked back and saw the light was green, so I pressed on the gas. I had no idea why he was looking in my car, but he made it very obvious and didn't even try to hide it. I checked my mirrors and the truck was now in my lane, cruising a good distance behind me. As I continued driving along my route, the truck stayed behind me, but I couldn't say for sure if he was following me or not because the route was straight all the way until the neighborhood. When I turned in, I stared at my mirrors, waiting anxiously for the truck to pass the entrance, but after 10 seconds, he turned in behind me. There was a chance he just lived here, and I knew that, but after seeing him looking in my car, I felt like I was justified in my suspicions. The route had me go down a few turns in the neighborhood before taking me down to the last road with the address on it. I turned, and right away I saw the dead end sign a few houses down. I braked and pulled over, staring at my rearview mirror. The truck pulled in behind me and parked. As I waited in my car, trying to come up with a plan, the truck behind me was just sitting there with its headlights on. Then I got a text. It was from the DoorDash customer, asking when the delivery would be arriving. This was all coming together, and I realized that the man in the truck, likely my customer, was waiting for me to get out of my car. Even though I knew what was going on, I still had no way of getting out of it. After a minute of me panicking to figure an escape, the man got out of his truck. He walked down to my car, but stopped right by the trunk. I watched in my mirror as he stood there, looking at me through the back windshield. It was a tense moment, making my head panic with thoughts. Then all of a sudden, he slammed something into the windshield, shattering it. I put the car in drive and floored it, just as the man jumped onto the back and tried to crawl in through the broken glass. He fell off as I made a tight U-turn, and with the time it took for him to get up, I was able to carefully maneuver between his truck without any more damage. I saw him wobble across the street as I left and called 911. When police got there, all they found were the broken shards of glass laying in the road. I'm very thankful to have made it out with nothing but a broken windshield, but that night had me shaken up for months. I just hope he's not out there trying to trap more people and do who knows what to them.